Beautiful song. Bring it on, but make sure that you never give up.
Yeah.
Chase money. Money, but do it right.
Yeah. Well, this could be our theme song or something like that.
Yeah.
I kind of really like it. It speaks to you.
Yeah, kind of
Good morning, yeah. It's a Thursday.
Yes,
we gradually
it is.
get into Friday.
Oh, I thought you said end of the month. What's today's date?
Today is like what, 16th? Something like that.
Yeah.
We've got a long way to go. If you're broke, Charlie.
Yeah, today's 16th.
Yeah.
Charlie, if you're broke.
It will be like that for a while.
It'll be like this month be slow.
Is it?
Yeah, because you have to pay school fees.
Yeah.
Personally, and for children next month.
Oh my God!
It is not a funny thing.
It is not a funny thing.
It is not a funny thing at all. But
oh my God,
we'll make it work, man.
Yeah, God sees us through all the time, so we're looking up to Him.
Amen. Which church you attend?
Doesn't matter.
Right.
I believe in God.
I love your inspiration.
I believe in Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah. We will get to the end. We will get to the end. Right. If you're just joining us, well, you missed the main news, the AM news, but we're now going to be doing the newspapers and the online review. So you can catch up on all the stories. It's brought to you in association with Smart's Organic Solutions.
Yep. And Smart's Organic Solutions, it's your advanced natural and organic health supplement used for cleaning the blood and also boosting the immune system.
All right, so you can use SOS Advance for the whole family. We're talking baby to the elderly. Doctors and pharmacies across Ghana. Please call 0244 439 830. 0244 439 830 to stock. Smart's Organic Solutions is available at Santa Monica Health Shop. It's opposite Golden Tulip Hotel. Relish Health Shop in Osu. Ebenezer Pharmacy, also in Osu. Tudon Ventures in Kokomlemle. SOS Advance, it's a natural solution for blood disorders, digestive issues, and skin conditions. Let's dig into the newspapers, but we've got a couple of your messages coming from the AM News. So let me just read a few. Nana Efa in Tepa says, giving license to teachers is not all that necessary. The government should rather think of providing necessary teaching and learning materials and other incentives which will help develop and improve education in Ghana than to give license. That's your opinion. If you've got one, send it to us. Here's another one that says, I'm always driven by the passion of Roland for his job, man. I feel you. As for Mama V, her new hairstyle is something else. Godwin Azor de Souza at Afife in the Volta region. This is what you've been looking at, eh? Well, we thank you for watching.
Do they still grow rice in Afife?
They should. Why?
Right.
Yeah, Godwin, I beg, give him a response. Noble Shaman Yendi says, if the Ministry of Education is implementing the teacher licensing policy, then they should also make a provision for a capacity building allowances for all teachers. Bring it on. Here's another one that just says, good morning. All right, good morning to you. Roland, I really loved your dance. I never knew you could dance this way. Michael,
that's one dance. That's one dance, I beg you.
What kind of dance was that?
The thing I was doing. My son said, hey.
All right, here's a last one, and then we'll get into the newspapers proper. Ben from Elmina, you are simply loving our outfits. Well,
thank you for
watching. So let's do the newspapers. I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let's check out front page of the Graphic this morning. Deal with corrupt officials. There we go. Deal with corrupt officials now. Civil society groups tell president. Also, Asset Declaration Act. It's a big joke. Speakers at IEA Forum. We know it, Anna. Say it's something that we've known. Let's go through the speakers. Mr. Justice Emil Short, former
Politicians are always afraid because they know that, but if they declare the assets, and we get to know the assets they declare when they are leaving, there'll be trouble.
Yeah, but what's the point in putting it in an envelope and keeping it somewhere when nobody knows what's in it? Professor Edward Diachimai, former Auditor General, Daniel Domolovo, who is Auditor General now, were all speakers at the IEA Forum. Also, poor performance at JHS, SHS, scandalous, according to Education Minister. Are they all not whining now? They should fix it.
Yeah. Education Minister, is he a diaspora? Whining.
Okay, a bit of this story that's on the front page, on page 3. Says speakers at a forum on fighting corruption in the public sector have described the content of the current Asset Declaration Act 1998 at 550 as a joke, saying it is not tight and robust enough to fight corruption in the public service. According to them, the act in its current state could best be described as non-existent, since it was plagued with numerous weaknesses and made the fight against corruption nothing but a mirage. Making separate statements at a roundtable organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs in Accra last Tuesday, the speakers called for a holistic national discourse involving all key stakeholders to initiate a process to address the weaknesses in the act. More details on this forum in the paper. All right, back page, Daily Graphic back page now. Peasant farmers call on government to address post-harvest losses. That's the main story then. There's something on the MTN FA Cup Kotoko qualify for semis. But Benedict will be here to give us all the spots. The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, they've called on the government to show more commitment in addressing the perennial post-harvest losses suffered by farmers in the country. The association also asked the government to, quote, take deliberate steps to ensure that post-harvest management is effectively integrated into all agricultural programs, including the planting for food and jobs. There's a lot more on the story on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, Roland.
Okay, so we do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page, we will deal with saboteurs. That's a story attributed to the health minister, who, according to the Ghanaian Times, is warning. Okay, so we also have other stories there. It says, Access Declaration Regime impotent.
Hey.
According to the Auditor General. Be free to criticize my government. President urges civil society organizations. But we have other stories in the Ghanaian Times. For example, a woman allegedly stabs lover to death. And review cap regime on IGF for education and health sectors. And Nigeria's suicide bombers killed 27. So those are the stories we have on the front page. On the back page is all sports. Kotoko progressing to the FA Cup semi-finals. That's on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. And Starless to embark on an European tour. But let's do the daily guide. On the front
which we'll do the dispatch.
Yes, on the front page of the daily guide, Rollins fires Mahama girl. She has no integrity. And we're talking about Dr. Valerie Sawyer. You know, they've been firing salvos at each other, leading to some decision taken for an impasse to have a truce, and subsequently we've had some replies by the former president. I can imagine is on the front page. But
no, where was he speaking?
I don't know where he was speaking. I'm sure maybe from yesterday's event, somebody may have caught him up. And, but he says that NDC is at the crossroads between those with integrity and those without. Those who lack it feel threatened by those of us who have the influence of integrity. And that is what is frightening them, according to the former president. He continues, none of all these calls against us will hold. I mean, it is false. They know it, but they have to propagate it. That's all. He finished. So we have other stories also on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Nanado commended over special prosecutor. And then we have MPA wants Glencore Energy, and apparently an accountant, as revealed in the Auditor General's report, I'm sure 2015, is said to have so-called chopped 115,000 Ghana cedis, 882. This one is a pale shadow of what happens when shareholders keep chopping people's money. So, those are the stories we have. Okay.
So we can do the Daily Dispatch? All right, let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Front page of the Dispatch says, over 3,500 illegal miners daring governments, Air Force and Marine Police to join. That story is on the back page. Okay, so that story is on the back page. Air Force and Marine Police to join, but over 3,500 illegal miners daring governments. Really? Okay, a bit of that story. It says the Marine Police and personnel from the Air Force military will soon join the Operation Vanguard Task Force in the eastern region to help clamp down in about 3,500 defiant illegal miners engaging in alluvial mining on the Brim River. Illegal miners, popularly known as, Roland, this is a different one. Is it Shamfai? Are still working on the Apapem to Achimfosu stretch of the Brim River, despite pleas from governments for help to quit. All right, so details of that story, but also attention, all men, your two important things are in danger. Protect yourself. I wonder what that is. Roland.
Our balls.
And is that it?
Oh, that should be it. What else? Okay. Our balls.
Yeah, and this is coming out.
Men, we're in danger of prostate.
Yeah, this is certainly coming out of Komi Boateng's Balls in Danger documentary.
Balls in danger.
Exactly. I kind of like this. I like this very much, the way they put the headline. But the first paragraph, hormone treatment for prostate cancer is an example of the medical industry with blinders on. The premise is that testosterone is the cause of prostate cancer, and this was evident in the Joy FM Balls in Danger documentary. You can read on. I mean, it's a whole page of it. And Charlie, guys, watch this and read this in detail.
So they are saying that if you have less testosterone as a man, it's better. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's all.
Oh my God. All right.
For all those who are in Tamale, I said Decibel. And especially to you, my good friend, Dr. Sanam. You're in Boko, you own a lot of health facilities under your group.
So he's creating a lot of employment in Boko.
Yeah, that was good money to you. You're in Accra. I haven't been able to meet you. I have to try. And also pharmacist Salifu Combat. You're with the Boko District Hospital.
Okay.
Good morning to you.
Let me go back to the Daily Dispatch. There's this story that's the full story is on page 11, but on the front page it says how many workers from UT and Capital Banks will be sacked. Do they have answers to it?
Will any of them be sacked at all? What's the commentary on?
You can check it out.
Okay.
Says at least about 50% of the workers of UT and Capital Bank will be laid off following the acquisition of the banks by GCB.
That's all.
Yeah, they are attributing this to City Business News. They've learned that GCB will not be compensating any of the workers that will be laid off. Okay, so there's an infograph in the paper that comes with the story. Fate of workers of UT and Capital Bank infograph. Amazing. All right, that's it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Let's do some business.
The business finder. But let me do the Business and Financial Times. On the front page, we have uniform capitalization could cause more trouble. Royal Bank boards. You have to look at page 3 of the paper. And apparently, the managing director of the Royal Bank, Hosea Safweje, has added his voice to cause that the central bank should not force all banks to attain the same level of capitalization. Why not? If you want to operate, why not? Saying that it could lead to excess capital for some banks, which they could also lend to sectors they have no expertise in. Oh, but if we have more money being borrowed to, if you're lending money, it's good. So if I'm borrowing from the banks and they have more than enough to give me. But anyway, that's his view. Also on the front page of the Business and Financial Times, to guarantee a future for the young, protect local businesses. And it's been attributed to the chief executive or the executive chairman of the Jospon Group, Joseph Sianwe Japan. He is called on government to protect some sectors of the economy if it wants to guarantee the future of businesses. The story that's on page 4 of the paper also says that, and I love this quote for him. He says that, Charlie, this is serious. This is serious.
So read it.
He says that if we can look at the system, we can customize it for the Ghanaian to have certain businesses that are more protected. If not, it will come to a time that foreigners will sell wache because they are doing boot to boots with everything of ours.
Remember there was the conversation
where
about
some Chinese are selling kenke.
Remember
and they sell I hear the kenke is better.
Remember the conversation about the pharmaceutical companies that were complaining?
Yeah.
You disagreed with me.
When?
But I'm surprised
When?
you are
When did I say that?
echoing this quote today.
When did I say that?
We'll give you a playback.
We'll record it. This show. I have short memory. I can't remember. But let me read the other stories. MPRA assures of trustee funds held at UT Bank. So have no worries. Then we also have HFC boss to go home to take up cabinet appointment. Very good for him. Then we have lack of local data hampering insurance package for cocoa farmers, we're told, by the Cocoa Boss CEO. On the back page, we have Odotobri Rural Bank posts another impressive growth, makes 3.9 million Ghana cedi profits. The banks.
Barola, you remember the story I'm referring to, right? The pharmaceutical companies.
The Glasgow Smith client thing.
Some of the pharmaceutical
that has been given to one India. The one India.
Exactly.
But you're talking about an isolated situation.
Which one is an isolated situation? It all comes back and it will bite you someday.
I know,
See?
I know.
You're talking about some Chinese people selling kenke.
I know.
There you have it. You have an Indian company totally in control.
I think the last one, though, I read a motivation, or I said a motivation about the tongue, the things we say and how they come back.
See? Thank you.
Did I make those comments?
Thank you. Humble pie. Oh my God, I love this. Let's do the Business Finder newspaper. The Finder tends to business on Thursdays.
Yep.
Front page of the Business Finder. There we have it. Banks must consolidate to lead government's ambitious initiatives, according to experts. Story says banking experts and stakeholders in Ghana's financial space are pushing for stronger regulation and consolidation of banks and financial institutions so they can contribute to the government's ambitious development agenda. Also, create technology pool to feed new industries. The two big headlines in the paper today, but obviously when you go to the inside pages, you'll find some other stories. For instance, this one on page 14, tourism sector to grow at 5.1%, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council, is projecting an annual growth of 5.1%.
And ours will be?
For Ghana's tourism sector, it's Ghana, from 2017 through to 2027.
Boy,
the council had forecasted 5.6% growth for the sector in 2016.
Over the last year, Mama,
in spite of the economic downturn.
Which tourist attraction have you visited in Ghana?
Oh, I think the only over the the last year.
Yeah, not the other year when you went to Senchio. I'm talking about last year.
Senchio wasn't it in 2016?
No, it was 2015. Oh, Mama, you have forgotten.
Then I haven't. Then we didn't go anywhere. We didn't. Because I was just going to say Senchi. You know, Senchi has this forest kind of thing.
I know. So mini kind of thing that they have in there.
Exactly. They can take you on a tour, an hour or 30 minutes kind of
just
thing.
Around.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's nice.
You cruise on the Volta Lake too?
Yes. Yeah. You can do that for another 30 minutes or an hour.
And you can get to Aqua Safari. Tourism is good.
But we don't explore much.
Yeah, we don't. Like, for example, you can go to the Boabi Fima Monkey Sanctuary. Or the Taffy. Or the Taffy Monkey Sanctuary that's in the Volta region, etc. Huli Falls, or we have Boti Falls and all that.
I tell you what, almost all the people that I know who have talked about holidays, vacation with the family this year with this long break is Dubai, SA.
And I haven't heard anybody talk about all the places they created in Dubai were artificial because they have nothing on the desert there. So they created those places for the whales, the sharks, the dolphins, and everything.
I think that the place I
spend millions of dollars for.
A place I had, which I would love to visit maybe sometime later this year or next year. I hear there's a place in Axim.
Okay.
There's a place in Axim, some exclusive place where you can tour.
Yeah, I think some classmates of mine wanted us to
I can't remember the name, but
you've been to Aqua Safari?
No.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Go there. And if we have more investors creating such scenarios, will be very good. I think we need to, because taking a weekend off and going to, it's not a lot of money.
But wait, hang on. What else is there? What else is
Aqua
there?
Safari.
Yeah.
I think it's just.
Can you explore?
Yeah, on the water and all that. Marine tourism.
See, sometimes we're kind of restricted. It's like tourism. You see the same things and it's not. And then you can go to other places, but the question I will ask is, how are the roads?
Then the facilities.
Exactly.
For example, I went to Taffy some time back, and I've been to
Yeah.
Boabin Fiema, and when you go, you should have a nice scenery where the monkeys, you
Yeah.
are eating, the monkeys can come around. You know, nice restaurant like you have in East Legon.
Oh, what's the name of this place in Damongo? Where you wake up and you can see the elephants.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is it the forest reserve?
Yeah,
the
Mole, exactly.
Mole.
That place is an amazing place, but of course
Yes.
it's quite a distance. But on a long vacation, the break that we
yeah.
have, you can always send your children to a place like that.
Especially you coming
Yeah.
to start school now, you can take a break like a week. Go have that
You're
time.
talking to who right now?
You.
Let's continue with the
Forget
review.
about the school fees you pay.
Let me just acknowledge that it's brought to you in association with Smart Organic Solutions. Let's do the online review now. But of course,
We'll
we've
spend
got,
some 5,000, come back,
some
you're
of your
free.
questions. And then it can cost there.
Yeah, and the
I
school
think
fees will come the next time for the kids.
It can cost, really. Because sometimes you think it's just
No, but
in
that's why you have to
Ghana,
plan it
But
well.
you end up spending like 5,000, 10,000
In
before
Ghana.
you know. Depending on where you're going with
Yeah.
family. Can cost. Let's read some of your messages and then we'll get ready and look at what is online. This one says there's a school building in Chichimso in Ponua districts of the Ashanti region. If nothing is done about it, tragedy will befall as soon. Will befall the nation. Amen. Kwan Fifi sending us this message from the Ashanti region. Here's another one that says, I watch your show. You make my day happy, especially your collaboration. Okay, well, we thank you and we thank God for that. BB from Obuase sending us this message. Let's do myjoyonline.com. Let's look at what's on our page this morning. Okay, government resurrects Mahama's vision to make Ghana petroleum hub in West Africa. Let's move on. Valerie Sawyer is intimidated by my integrity. Former President
Valerie Sawyer
has
is
finally
intimidated by my integrity.
Finally responded to Valerie Sawyer for
Valerie Sawyer
describing her
is
as a
intimidated
person
by my integrity.
Oh, Roland, why? Are you Mr. Rollins?
I wish.
Ah.
What is that, Muska? Come new problem.
Describing her as a person without integrity who should be ignored. All right, so let's move on. But you can read the full details when you log on to our page, myjoyonline.com. Mass burial after devastating Sierra Leone mudslide. I'm going to be sharing some personal stories on this with you. Also, GMPC allocates $1.5 million to support science, maths, and tertiary institutions. Students of math, science, technology, and engineering are to benefit from $1.5 million support from the GNPC, the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. EOCO probes breakdown of what did I say? EOCO probes breakdown of MRI CT scan machines at government hospitals.
Yoko.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Investigations to how MRI and CT scan machines at 5 major government hospitals have become non-functional for extended lengths of time. So, you know, when I started reading, I thought, no, this couldn't be EOCO. That's why I paused and I came back and said EOCO. CT scan machines not working, EOCO investigating. Well, okay, let's move on.
What's the Ministry of Health? Aren't they supposed to be checking these things?
In the Western region, 2 vehicles go up in flames after collision. At least 4 feared dead. Story says a head-on collision by 2 vehicles Wednesday evening at Kikem in the Western region has left at least 4 persons dead. Not quite.
Oh, okay.
But I think in the story, one of the vehicles was using, gas as the
fuel.
Exactly. So that's how come, but you can read the full details of the story.
You are concluding?
No, I think I saw something like that.
So you concluded that the gas...
I haven't concluded. I said...
No, don't worry, don't worry.
We'll bring you a lot more stuff. No, I'm not even minding you. We'll bring you a lot more sports stories later on here. Let's just run through. Mr. President, publish your assets. That's the civil society organizations challenging President Akufo-Addo. They want him to make public details of his assets, which he has declared in accordance with the law. Like, open up the envelope, let's see what's in there, what you have, so that when you're leaving, we can see, we can match it with what you initially said you had, yeah? All right, lots more stories on myjoyonline.com that you can check out, including videos of our programming here on Joy News. Stephanie Benson is 50. Wow. She's a hot 50. CTFM, Roland?
Valerie Sawyer is intimidated by my integrity. That's former President Jerry John Rawlings.
If Dr. Kumbo is watching the show and he's hearing you right now, he's going to hold
Valerie Sawyer is intimidated by my integrity.
Dr. Kumbo, please call Roland to order.
Yoko investigating broken up. Next one, please. Former Capital Bank CEO's 2014 memo predicted collapse. And apparently, this man who is posing there in that picture, I don't know whether this was a selfie or not.
The CEO in 2014,
yes,
but not the CEO at the point where the bank was swallowed.
Yeah, he's now the CEO of ADB.
Oh, that's Mr. Mensah right there.
Doctor.
Oh, okay.
He goes school.
Okay.
I beg you, doctor. Next story, Baumia's prediction of bank collapse was classified. Okay. Okay,
so this reference is, you remember when we hosted Dr. Baumia, as in JoyNews hosted Dr. Baumia when the government chalked 100, ask Baumia, remember that meeting with him? With a lot of other people. He made reference. This is where this thing is coming from the minority.
Is that
conversation?
Is that when
there
he
was
said
a revelation that he made?
It was one of his lectures.
No, this specifically was this.
Okay,
about
in reference to during that period.
The rest of the details.
Okay, so we go up.
I want us to spend a bit of time on Sierra Leone. So
90% of Mahama road contracts awarded by restricted tender.
Yeah.
Go up. We have other stories there, but let's go to.
I want us to be at the BBC for a while.
So let's go to BBC. I'm going to be there for the next 10 minutes.
Oh no, we're not.
Oh, I thought you said for a while.
We don't have 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So burials for Sierra Leone mudslide victims. About 150 bodies that have been identified or have decomposed have been interred. We're told there will be mass burial today. Because what happened yesterday was the dozens of the body parts that couldn't be identified what was buried. So there are a lot of personal stories coming out of Sierra Leone, and here's something that I picked from the BBC. So they say a young lover went to spend the night and never returned. Some of the people who have lost their lives. The man who was preparing for his wedding this Friday, he's dead. The woman who sent her kids, Roland, to a relative, because kids are on holidays, sent her kids to a relative who was living on the mountaintop. All kids dead. Yeah. The husband who was home with her 3 kids, only because the husband home with her 3 kids dead, but his wife and his infant's baby had been admitted at the children's hospital. That's why they were not home. So husband and 3 kids all dead because they were home. Personal stories at the center of this tragedy. 6 kids who went to study in somebody's house, all dead. A couple who moved into their new home, just the day before, dead. These are just very little of the many stories out of Sierra Leone, and this could happen really.
You know, some of the videos I was watching of the incident was a great disaster of a great magnitude. Buildings, people that I'm sure spent fortunes on, were just collapsing.
With human beings in there. With human beings in there. It's horrible.
Some of the stories are just...
We're also told that bodies are also now being discovered along the beaches, apparently having been washed down the ocean.
Climate change.
There's a possibility, because the bodies are decomposing and the government want to give a bit of time so relatives can come and identify it and also bring a bit of closure come and identify the bodies before they are buried. The bodies are also going bad, and there's fear of a possible outbreak of some disease, waterborne disease, something of the sort. But I think the good thing is they know about the possibility of this, and they say they've got plans in place. They are managing the situation as they can as a country. But one thing they're using to console themselves in Sierra Leone is a song that was composed after the when they came out of the civil war, and that's what they're using right now to console themselves. We're not in that situation. What we can do is also to tell their story, and hopefully African countries, can we get together and give something some support?
For Sierra Leone.
Let's do.
Ghana, haven't we donated to Haiti before?
We have.
Haiti is how many kilometers away?
We have. The thing is, we're told that we're preparing to make some donation to Sierra Leone, but we know very little. We know very little as of now. Also, remember that even in Tamale, when that flood occurred, it took 7 days for us to get some relief items to people. So we just want to share this song with you, and then we take a breather. Benedict will be here. We'll share more of your stories later this morning. But there's something else that we're doing this morning. I'll be at the headquarters of the Ghana National Fire Service. They say we are not hearing the plenty things they've been saying about fires, and the numbers are going up. So here's what we're doing this morning. We wanted to get very practical. If you're home and there's fire, what do you do? So that's why I'm going there, so that we can all learn how to fight the little fires around us. But the song, and then Benedict will come up. Thanks to Smart Organic Solutions for bringing us the review segment. SOS, and it's for the whole family. If you want to get in touch with them, just call 0244-439-830. Smart Organic Solutions is available at Santa Monica Health Shop. It's opposite Golden Tulip Hotel, Relish Health Shop in Osu, Ebenezer Pharmacy also in Osu, and Tudon Ventures in Kokomlemle. It's a natural solution for blood disorders, digestive issues, and skin conditions.